In today's video, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across our beloved empire, man, it's a great day to be in the empire today. The director of the video gaming division, moi, right here, is going to be talking about some of my deepest and darkest secrets when it comes to my bookmark section in Star Wars Galaxy. There's a question I've been getting quite a lot lately is, why do I have Ugnaught bookmarked in my roster? And I've also been getting the questions, kind of funny, I've been getting these questions simultaneously a lot lately. Arnold, do you have an updated relic farming guide? What are the best pieces to gear a scrap away to turn into relics? And today we're going to be talking about our relic farming guide. I thought today's the perfect time to do it because yesterday's stream, we decided to go on this crazy project trying to gear up a bunch of Jedi to try to test out Kiadimundi, and I have a lot of Jedi. I got a relic up, and I got to do some serious scrapping today. So I figured let's take today's opportunity to talk about how to find the best gear to scrapping from mods. And I got tons of resources for you guys to utilize. If you are new to the game and you didn't see my video that I made back in 2019, I got you covered. We're going to kind of update it a little bit. Not much has changed with the relic farming guide since then, but it's going to be an updated reminder on what to look for. And towards the end, after we talk about the free-to-play strategies and some of these relevant to pay-to-play people as well, I'm going to share a couple of resources for pay-to-play people that like to buy stuff for relics. I want to make sure you're buying the right stuff out there. So let's go ahead, hop over here, and take a little stroll to everyone's favorite person, our local scavenger. Now, the thing that you got to be careful of with relics, I believe this is why a lot of people ask if I can talk about this topic here, is because you don't know what gear to give away. Some gear is used in multiple different relics, but they're not all valued the same. Sometimes a gear can be highly valued somewhere else. Furthermore, you don't want to be scrapping away gear that's so hard to put together. And really, a lot of this conversation is going to be kind of stolen. My thunder is going to be stolen right here by this resource right here, but you need to have it. If you have a folder or bookmarks for Galaxy Heroes resources, this needs to be on there, especially if you do not understand right away the best gear to scrap away. This is going to have you covered. This goes through every single relic piece out there up until the Zimbital cards. There's not much you really can do with the new injectors as well as the pulse modulators from Relic 8, but with the going up to Zimbital cards, there's a lot of important gear pieces you want to keep your eyes peeled for so you are not scrapping the wrong gear, highly valued gear, or gear better used somewhere else out there. And why don't we start off with the Carbonite circuit boards? There's not really an outstanding best valued item. We're going to find the best valued items moving forward, but when you're doing stuff for the Carbonite circuit boards, you really just want to watch out for a few things. One, watch out for the red X's, one, because they're important, you're not getting a lot of value out of it. Or you also want to watch out for the triangle symbols that prohibit you or just warning you to watch out, because some of these gear pieces can be used for another relic piece as well. But as you see with the green check marks, there are a lot of fine items that you can scrap with. There's not too much going out the Carbonite circuit boards that you want to watch out for, but there are key pieces of gear you want to watch out for the next tiers. And how about we hop over to the game and talk about our Bronzium Wirings. Now, Bronzium Wirings, there is the holy grail of Bronzium Wiring pieces that's going to give you the most bang for your buck, get you as many Bronzium Wirings as possible, and that is going to be your Mark 5 Fabritech datapad. Now, there are other fine gear that you can put together, but this is by far one of the best pieces. It's going to get you a lot of Bronzium Wirings for gear that's not that important and gear that's fairly easy to get a hold of. So that's why the Fabritech datapad is one of the best pieces possible out there. And again, the spreadsheet is going to echo the exact same thing. I'm telling you guys right here. So again, when you scroll through, the same thing applies. If you are going to scrap at the minimum, try to stick to the ones that have a green check mark up here. Try to stay away from the ones with the prohibitory signs. For sure, stay away from the ones with the red X. But as you scroll down, the data is even showing that the Mark 5 Fabritech datapad is one of the best valued items to scrap away and turn the Bronzium Wirings. And that is the whole goal when you're putting together relics. You want to try to give the least amount of gear or the least important gear and get the most amount of relics possible. And that is where the Mark 5 Fabritech datapad comes in handy. Well, I also have some other things that I commonly scrap away. For example, Mark 5 Ball armor mods. Now, you will notice I have my Night Sister Initiate bookmarked on here, and her sole job in my favorites tab is to allow me to have easy access to quickly craft this. This gear I'm not using anywhere. It's not really all that valuable. It's not that important, and it's got decent value for scrapping away to our local scavenger. Now we get to the Chromium Transistors, and you should, if you are a whale, there is no excuse, there is no reason to be whaling on this right here. These are one of the easiest pieces to put together, and that is where Ugnaught comes in handy, and this is where he's OP, as I called it in my old video in 2019, because he has one of the most highly valued pieces when it comes to Chromium Transistors. This should be one of your easiest pieces you put together here, and that's exactly why we got Ugnaught bookmarked. The Mark 7 ball armor mount is one of the best valued items. There's another one I'll show you here in a moment, but you want to go ahead and fully craft these pieces right here, and that's another thing to keep in mind. Sometimes gear, when fully crafted, will get you more relic pieces than gear not fully crafted. And I'm going to show you that with the Aurodium heatsinks in one moment right here, but you want to go in here and you want to craft as many as possible. I already did my crafting for today, so I'm out of these pieces. And here's another pro tip. Right now, when you ask for donations in your guild, how much you want to bet that if you look right now, there's Mark 3 Carbonites, Mark 5 stun guns, there might be Mark 5 droid cars being requested. To make it easier on your guild and to get the most donations possible, try asking for things like the Mark 7 ball armor mod, or ask for some Mark 1 Shurka stun cups, or ask for some Mark 2 Fabritech data pads, because you can request that stuff, and that stuff usually gets filled out so quickly because it's not important gear, and you can use that to craft together the Mark 7 ball armor mod, which is the best value item inside of the store. We're going to go ahead. Let's just show you another example. Let's go ahead, put 10 of these together. We're going to get 67 pieces just out of 10 crafted Mark 7 ball armor mods. Now, if I took some other piece up there, let's go, for example, let's take a very highly valued item. Let's say, for example, you're going to go ahead and get rid of some Chirotech. If you give away 10 Chirotechs, which is one of the most valuable pieces in the game right now, you're only going to be getting 2 pieces. And again, that is the name of the game. You want to game the scavenger. You want to know you came out stealing from him practically and got the best bang possible. And again, just to do a comparison, we're going to do 10 of these right here, and boom. Not highly valued gear. It's not like Chirotech where it's needed everywhere for almost every character out there. That is why I want to make sure you know the key pieces of gear to find out. And let's actually take a look at the spreadsheet right here. So when it comes to Chromium Transistors, there's really 2 best valued items. I use a Mark 7 ball armor mod. That's the best value. Data shows right there. You just get so much points out of it. And also, the Mark 7 Blast Tech mod is another good one. Now, there are other decent ones. For example, you got the Mark 10 Blast Tech mod. But in general, you really don't want to be scrapping away a lot of this gear. It's easy to fall into the trap because there's a lot of good gear in here. You really want to try to stick to making the Mark 7 armor mod your go-to relic piece for Chromium Transistors, as well as this. And if you're a pay-to-play player, there is no reason you should never be buying Chromium Transistors out of shipments unless you're that desperate and can't wait to form a couple more of these. It's easy to put these together. You can ask for lots of donations. It's easy to get the gear to craft them, and they get you so much Chromium Transistors. Now, this is where we're going to go into a little bit of a mathematical breakdown, showing you why you want to sometimes double check and craft gear instead of selling it individually. And I'm just going to cut to the chase. The very best piece to give away for Aurodium heatsinks are going to be your Mark 3 CNR Hollow Projector salvage. I always try to buy these when I see them in the shard shop. I try to buy them for when you get it for a couple credits instead of the daily shipments that refreshes several times. When you see this, you should say jackpot. This is probably one of the best pieces you could possibly get out of the daily shipments every single day. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's take a little look. Sometimes in here, you'll get Mark 3 CNR Hollow Projectors. Always buy them. I'm always trying to get them as well when I see them in the shipments over here. Right now, I got a lot of them because Google Play Points, when you redeem them on the Google Play Points store, you get a lot of these actually. Fun fact. And also Shard Shop, you also might find them in here. By far, there's other gear pieces you could scrap away, but I don't think I've ever scrapped anything else except the Mark 3 CNR Hollow Projectors. But you gotta be careful. Now that I said that, don't just go in there and scrap them away, because we're gonna go into a little math lesson. Watch. When you scrap away 20 pieces, which forms a fully crafted Mark 3 CNR Hollow Projector piece of gear, I'm only getting 4. The trick is to fully craft these pieces and then sell them. So let me just show you, for example, let's find that piece, but we're gonna fully craft it. So here's the full piece right down here, and you're gonna notice a huge difference in points. So I'm gonna go ahead, let's just go to Farm Boy Luke here, and I'm gonna go ahead and craft one of these, which takes 20 pieces, and watch the before and after difference. We're gonna craft them. Usually I'll go in here and just smash craft and just call it a day at that point, but watch the before and after difference. We're gonna give one away. Boom, we're getting 10 pieces of the Aurodium heatsinks, and that means I got to put together 2 fully crafted Mark 3 CNR Hollow Projectors, and we got enough to get to the next big relic level. So fully craft these pieces. Do not sell them individually. And just to show you the math again, if we put together 20 pieces right here, you're only getting 4. It's a huge bang for your buck simply just crafting it. There is no other difference. It's the same piece of gear using the same amount of gear, but you're just fully crafting them, and you're getting a huge bang for your buck out of it. This is my go-to piece. Anytime I need Aurodium heatsinks, I'm using fully crafted pieces right here. Again, even if you're a whale and you could afford it, you should not be spending money to buy Aurodium heatsinks out the gate because it's so readily available to get this stuff out here. And another way to put it in perspective, for example, when you buy those Aurodium heatsinks outright, when you scroll down inside of Walmart down here, these Aurodium heatsinks are asking for 1,000 for just 10 pieces of Aurodium heatsinks. Well, to get a fully crafted Mark III Center Hollow Projector, I don't know if we have one available, but I believe it only costs 300 crystals. They're getting you the same thing in the end, but you're just getting a way better bang for your buck just by fully crafting them. There we go. 300 for one of them, yet they're asking for 1,000 just for 10 pieces of Aurodium heatsinks. That's a huge discount. So this is one of the whale tips out there. If you want to, you feel free to whale on these to turn into Aurodium heatsinks, but never, ever, ever outright buy Aurodium heatsinks. An important pro tip, and for free-to-play players as well, that's going to be the most important piece to scrap away. Taking a look at the spreadsheet, you're going to see the same exact thing. Can we take a quick little gander over here? Again, I like to just reference this so you guys can see how this works here. Again, best value right there, Mark III Standard Hollow Projector, and it even gives you the warning right here. Even though they're the same piece, in the end, they're telling you craft it, because if you sell them individually, you're just not going to get the same bang for your buck. And that is definitely the piece you want to stick to. And now we're going to move over to our Electrum Conductors. And long story short, it's kind of weird. The best way to get the most Electrum Conductors possible is by fully crafting the gear, and that is kind of steep. I'm not gonna lie, it's steep. Once you get to Electrum Conductors and beyond, it gets a little bit more difficult to start putting gear together. But what I mean is, you are way better off, instead of just selling, for example, 30 of these right here, which normally would get you a fully crafted piece, you are better off just selling a fully crafted piece of gear. It's steep, but when you're thinking of efficiency, would you rather scrap a more single pieces of this, or would you rather scrap less single pieces but just fully craft them? It's painful, but as the data shows, you're going to get way more points simply by, let's see, do we have an example here? Can I go ahead and, okay, I don't have a fully piece, we don't have a full piece that we could probably scrap right now, but just to kind of show, here we go. We have a piece right here. This right here would get me way more of the Electrum Conductors than selling 30 of these individually, and that's what I'm trying to get at. So if you are trying to put Electrum Conductors together, try to sell these that are fully crafted, because you're just going to get way more bang for your buck out of them. And this is where I'm going to give a little bit of whaling suggestion here. If you do whale on Galaxy Spheres, it is pretty decent value to buy the Electrum Conductors inside of Walmart. I do buy these from time to time because I don't want to buy a fully crafted piece of gear. It's a little bit painful doing that. You're going to get decent value doing this instead of fully crafting and giving away gear. So that is one of the fine things in Walmart that you can buy if you have the need to whale in Galaxy Heroes. And last but not least, the most painful part, I guess, before Relic 8 was introduced, we have the Zinbittle cards, and there is no special value. No matter what if you full craft them, not gonna matter. If you sell them individually, not gonna matter. It's just one of the things you just have to grind out. So there is no particular value. You don't get more value with one piece of gear versus another. It's all a time constraint that you got to deal with. You got to farm it, scrap it, and you're not getting any special bang for your buck, even if you fully craft the pieces in general. So I'm not going to talk too much about Zinbittle cards. Unfortunately, not much we could do about it. But to wrap up this video here, because there's also not much to talk about with the impulse detectors, and there's not much to talk about with the signal magnifiers, because that's solely exclusive to the challenge, to the Rancor raid that just came out not too long ago, the challenge tiers. I want to give you a little bit of advice when it comes to farming with like a whale. It's only gonna be a couple of quick resources right here, but again, just to reemphasize, even though there's impulse detectors, there is no special value. No, if you did that over that, it's all the same stuff no matter what. It is extremely expensive. I did a whole in-depth analysis not too long ago during a whale fail showing how expensive this stuff is to put together, and chances are you're not gonna be getting a lot of Relic 8s out there. And this is where we talk about the whaling aspect of Galaxy Spheres. Obviously, there are a lot of packs out there that you could buy. For example, we did a breakdown of the Relic Challenge bundle. This is one of the best bundles out there, not just because it gets you Relic 8, but because the Zinbittle cards are plentiful, and you don't quite see that many Zinbittle cards for that price here. So to give you a couple of examples, I want to refer you to my whale or fail spreadsheet. And I got a couple more little things I want to add towards the end of the video. So if you don't know Whale or Fail, it's YouTube's favorite show. It's where we break down the finest packs and the trashiest packs of Star Wars Galaxies. And here I have a couple of resources here. For example, it shows you if you do want to buy the pieces out of shipments, how much value are you getting than otherwise farming them free to play with your Cantina energy, for example, or scrapping it away. And as you see here, really with the signal data, you're not going to be getting a high value with buying the pieces straight out of shipments. You're only really buying out of shipments if you're impatient and you don't want to farm them slowly through Cantina Energy. I primarily farm my stuff through Cantina Energy, but some people do buy this, but just know you're not getting a great value because it's cheaper otherwise to farm them free to play, as I show over here. It costs 15 crystals per piece, for example, for our first Relic amplifier that we need here. And if you just farm them through energy, it's only about 11.11 crystals per piece. So that's why you're not going to get a crazy value. But if you are going to buy Relic scrap materials instead of selling your gear, by far the best thing to buy is going for that Electrum Conductor right there. And if you really, really need to, the Bronzium Wirings have an okay value if you want to buy them outright, but really you shouldn't really be buying the Carbonite circuit boards. And most importantly, you should not be buying the Chromium Transistors as well as Aurodium Heatsinks. I'll be leaving a link down below. This spreadsheet also has access to my Whale or Fail pack reviews, where I oftentimes look at the most popular packs out there, break down their value, and let you know if it's a whale or if it's a fail. And two more resources I'm going to throw at the end of this video right here, kind of further backing up on the Chromium Transistors and Aurodium Heatsinks. These are fantastic. I bookmarked these because I knew eventually I was going to remake this video right here. But Gerbil23, they make a lot of fantastic guides over on Reddit. I actually implemented one of them in my farming guide not too long ago. And this is going to really explain why you want to farm Chromium Transistors. So I'm going to leave links down below so you can read it yourself if you really want to know more about the math behind them. But overall, you want to be farming those ball mods, the Mark 7 ball mods for Chromium Transistors. And for sure, this shows you the importance of why you don't want to be buying the Aurodium Heatsinks and why you want to fully craft the Mark 3 standard hollow projector. So a lot of stuff being thrown at you guys today, but as I'm putting together my Relic Jedi here in Galaxy here so we can test out during our live stream tomorrow, I wanted to make sure I kind of give you guys an updated guide on the resource available to you, and furthermore, the key piece of gear to look for where there is a big bang for your value. And of course, if you are a whale, I want to make sure you're whaling in the right way possible. Like if you did enjoy the video, comment down below on all your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. And most importantly, it's great to be in the Empire today.